Hello good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today I'm bringing you my top 5 must-buy premium ships. And by must-buy, I mean if someone were to ask me, what premium ship should I absolutely buy if I'm going to be playing with Warships for a while, these would be the 5 that I would list off immediately. Now, I'm not including any free XP ships because technically you don't have to buy those. If you want to grind up to 750k XP, they're completely free. So that's why they're not included on this list. This is like if someone just wanted to buy some premium ships outright. And again, this is all 125% my opinion. And if a ship isn't on this list, this doesn't mean it's bad or anything. It's just not one of the ones I would say, hey, you should probably buy this first, because these are, in my opinion, the funnest premiums that I currently own. And again, these are ships that I own. If a ship isn't on here, it's either because I just didn't think it was fun enough to warrant saying, hey, buy this ship, or it's simply because I don't own it. I'm not going to put a ship on a list that I don't own because I cannot vouch for it personally. I haven't personally played it. I mean, I can go off of what some other people have said, but I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy a ship that I haven't played yet. So that's how that works. So let's go ahead and jump on into number 5, which is the Tier 7 German battleship Scharnhorst. Scharnhorst is a ton of fun. Unfortunately, I was planning on buying her at the beginning of the summer, but for some reason she disappeared off of the premium shop and out of the tech line, so I had to wait a little while, and she came back a couple of months ago, or a month or two ago. My whole timeline in my head is just all messed up. And I picked her up, and she is some fun. Her guns are smaller than Gneisenau's, but they have a faster reload rate. She is pretty dang tanky if you angle her right. She can bounce pretty much anything off of her belt armor except for Yamato shells. And she has really good secondaries, and she gets torpedoes, which torpedoes are always a hoot in a brawl. The other person may think they got you, then not surprised, son, I got torpedoes. You go into the bottom of the ocean. She's also really fast in maneuver. You can get some nice tort beats in her. And I mean, it's quite funny seeing cruisers just turn around when they come around a corner and you're there just charging right at them. And even with some battleships, I mean, she can't, like, from range, she cannot go one-on-one with another battleship simply because her guns are too small. However, if you manage to close that gap, get up in their face, you got your secondaries going off, you got your torpedoes, and you do have a really fast reloading main battery, you can probably take on most battleships that you're going to meet from tier 7 to maybe some of the tier 9s. But if you just close that gap, get in their face, get your torpedoes off, if you have adrenaline rush, you're going to have a ton of fun in this ship, because oh my god, getting these fast reloading guns down to like 20-ish seconds, 19-ish seconds reload speed, reload time, that is a hoot. Well, they're already at 20 seconds. Getting them down even further is just a hoot. So moving on to number 4, which is the Tier 7 American cruiser, Atlanta. I don't think the ship really needs an introduction, because I'm pretty sure most of us have been on the receiving end of an Atlanta. It's an absolute pain to play against. However, it is so much fun to play when you can get into your correct position, get right behind a low island to where your rainbow of HE can get over the top of it, and just rain down on battleships, cruisers, and destroyers. Nothing is safe from the Atlanta, especially destroyers. If you come around the corner and there's just a couple destroyers, they're chilling, trying to cap, you're about to get some kills. And she does have torpedoes. However, I think I've used them a grand total of 3 times. It was only when a cruiser came around the corner, and it was very much an oh crap moment. And it's one of those moments where you just realize, oh wait, shit, I have torpedoes, I should probably use them. And that's when I use those, because they only have a 4-kilometer range. Like, they're useless, and they're definitely not offensive torpedoes. They're just, right in the moment you have them, and they usually just save your bacon. She also has radar, which is very nice for hunting destroyers, and she also has the defensive fire consumable, which means most carriers will avoid you. However, some, if they're willing to sacrifice most of their planes, will come after you. She does not have a hill, so that is a downside. She also has pretty much no armor, but I mean, this thing's got to be balanced when it's got pretty much, I think, like the equivalent of like 2 or 3 gearing strapped to its decks. There has to be balance somewhere. But yeah, she's a ton of fun. I would definitely recommend buying her. if you, especially if you like cruiser. Well, she's really more of a roided up destroyer than a cruiser. So if you want to look at her like that, it's kind of a, like I said, a roided up destroyer. If you enjoy American Destroyer gameplay, you will definitely enjoy the Atlanta. So moving on to number 3, which is the Tier 6 American battleship, the Arizona. This is one tough cookie. You can get up to Tier 8 and still just be an absolute tank in this thing. She also has 12 14-inch guns, which that's a lot of firepower at Tier 6. Her secondaries actually aren't that bad either, although I wouldn't, invest a whole lot in her secondaries. But, she's no slouch when it comes to secondaries. She's also a pretty good brawler because she is very tanky and has, like I said, 12 14-inch guns. That's a lot of firepower. Now, unlike the rest of the American line, her AA is pretty lacking. I mean, I think her starting AA rating is 30, which it's not terrible at Tier 6, but it's no American AA. She also has a pretty dang good torpedo protection. She's also a bit faster than the mainline American battleships, meaning that she can break 20 knots. However, with the speed flag, I believe she can only get up to like 23 knots, which it's not too much faster than the mainline American battleships, but I mean it's faster than 20 knots. The Arizona, yeah, she's really fun. She's a really good mid-range battleship, and if the situation calls for it, she can most definitely go in close range and trade some punches mano a mano against, I would say, definitely every Tier 6 battleship and most of the Tier 7s. The Tier 8s, yeah, she can hold her own, but at that, when she gets up tiered that much, she's just going to be outperformed in terms of maneuverability, so they'll be able to get around to your sides and punish you there. So moving on to number 2, which is the Tier 8 German battleship, Tirpitz. Yes, the Tirpitz. It's actually the first premium I ever bought. And I immediately parked her after playing one game in her because I realized I had no idea what I'm doing at Tier 8. Yes, the Tirpitz. Now in the clip you're watching here, I do use the Tirpitz as my German battleship trainer, and I've been buying back a lot of the German battleship line. So, she's had captains coming in and out on her right now. I currently only have an 8-point captain, so that's why you see her secondaries aren't performing as well as they should. But if you do build for secondaries and the Tirpitz, you can get your secondaries up to over 10 kilometers, and that's really nice at Tier 8. That's just great. And the Tirpitz, for all intents and purposes, is a Bismarck with less deck armor and torpedoes. And I already consider Bismarck to be one of the best ships in the game. So you slap some torpedoes on there, and you get the Tirpitz. In a 1v1 situation, the Tirpitz is obviously going to win in a brawling situation because she has torpedoes. Bismarck does not, so that's why I would say Tirpitz is the better brawler between Bismarck and Tirpitz. She's also, I mean, her main guns do have German dispersion, so she's definitely, obviously she's meant for close-in brawling. So, at the beginning of most, because you're going to get up to Tier 10 like 7 out of 10 games that you play. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. So she can't really snipe, but man, when you close a distance between, I don't care if it's a Yami, a Conch, or a Kurfürst, you close a distance in the Tirpitz, you're going to do some real damage to them. Her secondaries make life hard for destroyers and cruisers. And she's really freaking fast, like 30. I believe her top speed is 32 knots. That's freaking fast for a Tier 8 battleship. And I gotta say, she's just a fun ship to play, especially if you get adrenaline rush. Woo boy, you're gonna be having some good times in the Tirpitz. So moving on to number 1 is the Tier 8 American battleship Massachusetts. Yes, the Massachusetts is everything I believe a premium should be. It's, well, I mean, maybe not being a direct clone of the Alabama, having some stats changed, but being the fact that she's an American battleship with German battleship levels of dispersion and German levels of secondaries, but the trade-off is, of course, she only has 32 millimeters of armor all the way around. So she's weak in the armor department, but she is strong in the firepower department. It's like there's no real OP gimmick to her. I mean, her secondaries are strong, but they're definitely not OP. And like I said, her armor is pretty weak for a battleship that's meant to brawl. So, you know, she's not like some OP monster that's going to go in and wreck everybody in a game. She's pretty easy to take down if you focus fire on her. But she does have her heal is amazing. It has a 40-second cooldown, which negates some of the, because I mean, you have 32 millimeters of armor all the way around. You're going to get HE spam to death, and you're going to be using your heal a lot. So I'm glad they gave her 40-second heal to kind of mitigate the damage that she's going to be taking from the HE spam. But yeah, I'm willing to take a Massachusetts into a tier 10 game and just go for it. I'm not going to be hanging back in her too much. I mean, unless the team's just getting stomped, then of course I'm going to have to. But yeah, I'm not afraid to charge in with Massachusetts, and I mean, 16-inch guns, I mean, even with the German dispersion, these things pack a punch, a very, very hard punch. And she's right now, she's pretty much my favorite premium ship right now. And I mean, she's got strong secondaries, she's got strong AA, and her main battery is very nice, even though they are a little bit inaccurate at times. You know, you're gonna get screwed over by RNG every now and then, but RNG taketh away, but RNG also giveth. And I mean, you'll go. I've caught some miracle shots in this thing, and I only have 11-point captain on her right now. So I can imagine when they have a 19-point captain on her, this is going to be just a hoot to play. So those are my top 5 must-buy premium ships. So let me know in the comments down below. What are your top 5 must-buy premium ships? Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Let me know down below. So if you like the video, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. Yes, this is amazing for me. We just had a period of amazing growth for the channel, and I can't thank you guys enough for it. So again, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope to catch all of you guys